is your take on Wim Hof breathing and his whole thing? Are you a fan of it, or it's okay to you, or what's your take on his specific type of breathing? And do you think every athlete, or you think most athletes should be implementing that to get stronger or faster or whatnot?
I think Wim has done more to bring breathing awareness and the potential of breathing to the mass public than anyone else in the past 50, 60 years. I really
Mm.
do. I think he's such an inspiring character. He's the first person to acknowledge, I've talked with him several times. He's like, this is not new stuff. They call it the Wim Hof method, but it's been
Yeah.
around for thousands. Talk to a Tumo monk about the Wim Hof method. He's like, yeah, it's called Tumo. We've been doing this for thousands of years. That's not to belittle what he's doing. He's getting the word out to people who wouldn't know about it otherwise. So it's extremely effective. The science shows that. I'm a big fan of these forced hyperventilation training methods. What they do is they purposely stress your body out for a very short amount of time so that you don't carry that stress throughout the day, which is what most of us do, right? It's like working out. It's you're focusing that amount, you're building those muscles of breathing
Mm.
and conditioning yourself so that the rest of the time you can breathe normally. So you can call it Wim Hof method, you could call it Sudarshan Kriya, Kundalini, Pranayama. They're all doing the same thing.
With the Wim Hof method and also with the increase EPO naturally method, what's the results in the tests that have came back on brain performance? Because a lot of people think about physical performance being faster, being more athletic, but what about being smarter and increasing your oxygen to the brain? Has that been as drastic as physical performance?
So anyone who thinks they're getting more oxygen to the brain by over breathing is wrong. What is happening is you are having the exact opposite effect. Right now, you take about 20, 30 big breaths, you're going to feel lightheaded. Why do you feel lightheaded? Because you are getting the circulation is slowing down to the brain, which is also why your hands and feet may go numb or feel cold. So when you overbreathe, you inhibit circulation. When you breathe in line with your metabolic needs, that circulation increases, which is why slow breathing helps to heat the body up and deliver more blood to the brain. We also know there was a study done at Northwestern about 3 or 4 years ago that showed that breathing through the nose in a rhythmic pattern helps align different sections of the brain to allow you to think more clearly. The different brain waves come into coherence. So this is so effective for focused tasks, is to have your breath slow and rhythmic. And we can see this with EEG studies and other studies that are all available on the site.
So you'd recommend anyone that's doing some form of deep work, shout out to Cal Newport, any type of deep work, that slow breathing. And maybe that's why meditation is so effective, because day one of meditation class, they talk about what? Breathing.
Meditation is breathing. The benefits you get from meditation for the first 6 months to a year, I would argue, are from breathing. I don't know any meditation that you can sit there and mouth breathe. And the first thing you do is slow everything down. How do you slow everything down? You slow it by breathing more slowly. So
Mm.
breathing is this thing that you can slow it down to elicit different reactions in your body. You can speed it up to elicit different reactions. You can breathe less, you can breathe more. So all of these different things you can use depending on what you need your breath to do for you at that moment.
Gotcha. Okay. So if you want to be super genius, highest level intellect, slow breathing, and maybe implement some meditation.
Slow rhythmic breathing is going to be the most efficient way to provide fuel for your brain to do what it needs to do.
When you say rhythmic breathing, do you mean like box breathing, or what does that
You
specifically
can
mean?
do you can do box breathing if you want. It needs to be in a rhythm. When you're breathing is most people when they sit down at their computer, answer their email, guess what they do? They hold their breath and then they go. There's no pattern to it, right? You're stopping,
Mm.
you're starting, you're breathing in longer than you're breathing out, and then you flip that. So, by allowing yourself to come into a natural rhythm whether that's an inhale to 3 or 4, or you can do it longer to 5 or 6, and an exhale for that same amount. But that natural rhythm puts your body at ease and allows it to better do what it's designed to do. There's various apps that do this that has a little sound that goes boo. So you don't have to look at your phone. And when I get stressed out, I put my phone on my desk and I breathe along with that as I answer 400 extremely boring and irritating emails. And it really helps you get through these tasks.
What's the name of the app you use?
I'm on Android. The one I used is called Paced Breathing. It's got the worst UX you've ever seen, but I'm not looking at for good design. I'm looking for something that is very simple and that works. And you know what? Since I have you here, here it is. It's got UX from 1997. That's the sound it makes. You don't need a bunch of bells and whistles. I'm putting this thing on my desk to just breathe
Perfect.
along with it. So yeah, this looks like, Web 1.0 DOS situation, but it
Mhm.
it works great for me. There are dozens of other breathing apps that do the similar thing. I would suggest getting an app where you can program your own time into it, and I like 6 seconds in,
Mm.
6 seconds out.
Well, breathing is human 1.0, so I guess everything comes full circle, right?